But you can see here, 1.7 million, 2,000 retweets, and that is, like, that's crazy engagement. 60,000 impressions in 20 minutes.
Caitlin Clark has officially silenced her critics in the most spectacular way, one workout. Remember when skeptics claimed she'd lose followers after that controversial interview? Fast forward to 1.7 million views, and those naysayers are now eating their words. The Indiana Fever recently released footage of Clark training alongside Stephanie White, and the internet is buzzing. With millions of impressions already, the hype is real. Let's dive into the details. Caitlin Clark's movements are sharper and more intentional, like an artist refining a masterpiece. This isn't just an off-season workout, it's a transformation. Her first session with Stephanie White is already turning heads. While most players focus on maintaining fitness, Clark is targeting her weaknesses, proving that greatness comes from never being satisfied.
Like, she's not out there practicing stuff that she doesn't need to practice. Obviously, she's still getting shots up and stuff, but it's like, work on your weaknesses. Work on your weaknesses and work on the important weaknesses. Like her finishing and her ability to kind of shoot that floater, that mid-range, the in-between game. Not shoot long twos, but everything about the in-between game was the biggest downside.
So what's Caitlin Clark focusing on in this workout? Let's break it down. First on the list, mastering off-foot layups. You've seen her effortlessly glide to the basket before, but now she's leveling up by practicing finishes with her non-dominant foot. It might seem like a minor adjustment, but it's a game changer. Why? Because against towering defenders, this subtle skill becomes her secret weapon, catching them completely off guard.
Like, this is not an easy shot, by the way. This is a off-foot left-hand layup floater from outside the key. Like, that is not an easy shot to shoot. She's working on a lot of off-foot stuff, a lot of like jump stop in finishing. Like, almost all the finishes she's making are off-footed, which I really like, and it's something that there's a severe lack of especially teaching at youth level. Like, if you go to like a Serbia or something, like those off-footed layups are like what almost all the coaches are teaching you.
This isn't a skill you often see in American basketball players. It's the kind of versatility that defines players like Nikola Jokic, thinking ahead, staying unpredictable, and always staying a step ahead of the game. Caitlin Clark is showing she belongs in that elite league of innovators.
The mid-range shot to her game, and with her adding that is her adding something else to her toolbox that is going to be electrifying. Because not only do you got to worry about her getting inside, getting to the paint, you also got to worry about her killing you from three. Now she's going to kill you from the mid-range as well.
But that's not all. Clark is already known for her lethal left hand, but now she's working to make her right just as deadly. Imagine trying to guard her when she can score effortlessly with either hand. It's like she's unlocking an entirely new dimension to her game.
I like that. Caitlin Clark shot a shot stepping to her right, and I like that again. So a pull-up midi and a shot stepping to her right, and I actually like it because when she's shooting to her right, she's not bringing the ball over this side, because we know with the deep threes, like a lot of the time you have to bring the ball from somewhere, and like she brings it over this side of her head to kind of get a little bit of more power in the arms, and she'll do that with a jump shot. But I like the way on her right side, she doesn't look as uncomfortable shooting to her right as she did last.
And then there are the floaters, those soft, high-arching shots that effortlessly sail over outstretched defenders. Clark is fine-tuning this skill, and it's a brilliant move. Floaters are a guard's best weapon when the paint is crowded with defenders, and Clark is making sure hers are unstoppable.
Hey, nice floater. To be fair, you could tell she worked on her floaters coming into post-Olympic break. Like the amount of more floaters that she was shooting.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark isn't just practicing mid-range shots, she's making the ball feel like an extension of her hand. Each drive, every shot, is deliberate and intense. Every drill has a purpose, pushing her closer to perfection.
So obviously when you've got your head coach leading the individual player workouts, I like that. Because like, obviously Stephanie White was a player, pretty damn good player. But for me, I think it's a big thing with when it comes to Stephanie White, is that like, you know that there's a level of respect there.
She repeats the movements, building muscle memory with every rep. This isn't about performing for the cameras. It's about gearing up for battle on the court.
Work out with whatever coach she wants, and she's choosing to work out with the Indiana Fever coaches. Guarantee you she would not be choosing to work out if Chrissy Sides was still there. So that's obviously the level of coach that she is, that Caitlin Clark's actually choosing to work out with her team for individual workouts.
And who's behind this basketball symphony? None other than Stephanie White. You might be wondering why everyone is talking about White's presence. Well, let me tell you, this isn't just your typical coach-player dynamic.
And obviously it's just her with some assistant coaches. I'm surprised there are not more players like kind of almost in these workouts, but they're probably doing a lot of workouts with individual players.
White brings a wealth of experience to the table. She's been in Clark's shoes as a player, and she's coached at the highest levels. What really sets her apart, though, is her hands-on approach. In the video, you can see White on the court, demonstrating moves and offering instant feedback. It's a level of engagement you don't often see from head coaches, especially during individual workouts.
It seemed like she just got something new in her game every single game. Like, do you guys remember the game she just started spamming the behind-the-back dribbles? Was it Dallas before the Olympic break, where, like, with Caitlin last year, I'm not joking when I say this, if you watch game by game by game, it was like, you know, in 2K when you just equip new animations, she would just randomly get a new animation every game.
Most head coaches might just drop by for a few minutes, offering some general advice. But not Stephanie White. She's fully invested in Caitlin Clark's development, guiding her through each repetition with the care of a master craftsman shaping their protege. White's coaching style is all about unlocking potential and pushing players beyond their limits. With Clark's talent and drive, the results could be truly extraordinary.
But you can see here, 1.7 million, 2,000 retweets, and that is, like, that's crazy engagement. 60,000 impressions in 20 minutes. And like, that's the thing, is like, so many viral tweets about this add to that. Like Robin Lundberg.
Clark is already a dominant force, but with White's guidance, she could become unstoppable. It's not just about learning new moves. It's about refining every aspect of her game, making her more efficient and lethal on the court. This is just the start. We're seeing the relentless grind that builds legends. Clark has that Kobe Bryant mentality. Week after week, she's adding new skills. It's easy to think her talent is all natural, but the real story is her behind-the-scenes hustle.
It is nowhere near like getting 1.7 million views on YouTube. Like, that is a difference. There is a big difference between that. But like, this is just a training video. This is literally just a video of her at practice. We're talking about practice, not the game. Not the game that she goes out there and dies for. Insert backup camera. Not the game she goes out there and dies for. We're talking about practice.
But here's the thing. The workout is just one part of the story. There's so much more: physical changes, fan reactions, and the implications for the upcoming season. Clark's skills are clearly evolving, and her fan base is stronger than ever. After that Time magazine interview, some predicted her fan base would take a hit, but they couldn't have been more wrong. Her connection with fans is only getting stronger, with millions of impressions.
About to crack 1 million views, and we're trying to convince us Caitlin Clark's fans are gone. And like, that's the big reason I'm making this video, is like, people were actually trying to say Caitlin Clark's fans are gone. Yes, the Jason Whitlocks of the world are gone. I mean that. Jason Whitlock is, the likes of him are gone. But they were like, they're never watching it for sports. The people that were never here for sports, yeah, they might be gone. They genuinely...
This wasn't just any old practice clip. It blew up in a way nobody saw coming. The video racked up 2,000 retweets on Twitter. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but how does that compare to other WNBA content? Let me tell you, it's not even close. This level of engagement is huge for women's basketball.
Even if they've turned on Caitlin, these people were never about the sport. They're just looking for a new target. Their target was Angel Reese, and they were trying to big up Caitlin, even though for nothing to do with basketball. And now their target has changed to Caitlin. And they're not going to big up anyone. They're just going to attack Caitlin, just like they've attacked LeBron for years. Like, it doesn't matter what LeBron does.